Hello, it's the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. It's Friday. You know what that means? It's another watch along. My name's Troy, joined as always by Jay. How's it going, my man?
I'm all right. I've got an eye infection, which is why I've got my glasses on to try and hide
Ooh.
that. Because
Just get
got a
yourself
special eye.
an eye patch like Pac had.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's a look.
Yeah, certainly a look. Whether I could pull it off, I feel like I'd look like sort of like Vietnam War veteran working behind like a bar, like working in a dive bar.
Perfect.
It's like I'm in a Vietnam War vet.
You weren't there, man.
Little Always Sunny reference for you there.
Well, as I say, it's Friday. That does mean another watch along. What have you got for us today, mate?
Well, speaking of people who look like Vietnam War vets, we've got the Briscoes versus the Kings of Wrestling.
Super. What a segue.
Because while we were looking for matches, just to kind of pull the curtain back, and we were like, oh yeah, we've done quite a lot of Ring of Honor recently. Let's not do that. And then this popped up on my recommended. I was like, oh, it's the Kings of Wrestling.
Be rude not to, eh?
Yeah, you've never seen the Kings of Wrestling as a tandem, have you?
Yeah, never seen them together. So yeah, this will be a first for me.
Yeah, it's just Claudio being a bastard, Chris Hero being a bastard, and the Briscoes hating every minute of it.
Yeah, what a recipe for fucking not disaster, but yeah, for our enjoyment at least.
Yeah, when we did the like sort of weekly podcast episode, the week that Jay Briscoe died, me and Big Tasty spoke quite highly of this feud. It was a very long feud, but it was like very good. Arguably one of the Briscoes' best opponents as a team.
Nice.
I want just one more Kings of Wrestling match. Chris Hero said.
How likely do you think that's it's to happen?
Well, Chris Hero said he's not retired.
Okay.
He made a point the other day when someone asked him of the possibility of another match as like with Claudio as the Kings of Wrestling. Mm-hmm. He made a point of saying, "I am not retired. I will retire on my own terms," which makes me think that we're probably getting Chris Hero showing up for like, even if it's just like a little commemorative Chris Hero Kings of Wrestling appearance.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Ideally, just get him into Ring of Honor. If not wrestling all the time, have him like in the role like sort of Jerry Lynn and Christopher Daniels players, like creatives, and
absolutely
sort of overseeing the show. Yeah. He's like literally one of the best minds for wrestling. Mm-hmm. In like WWE put a documentary about him on the network about how much of a historian of wrestling he is. So yeah, also go listen to any podcasts Chris Hero's done because he's a fascinating fella.
Yeah. Off the back of we did the Chris Hero Zack Sabre Jr. match a couple of months ago, which was really, really good. I remember you saying he's quite the historian, an encyclopedia for wrestling knowledge. And I went and listened to some of his podcasts. Highly recommend listening to those if you haven't already.
He's just a fascinating fella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really well spoken, really, really smart.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that he can kill people with his elbows, so there's that too.
Yeah.
Without further ado, should we get into that now?
Yeah,
we have a little chat about how much I love Chris Hero.
Right. I am ready to play in 3, 2, 1, play. Throwback Thursday. It's Friday though, but don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it. I mean, technically it's Saturday when we're watching.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh! This is one I don't think I've seen.
God, they all look so different.
Yeah, we've got Smooth J.
We've
got Mark with hair. Chris Hero skinny.
I haven't seen Claudio yet. He's probably got some hair.
Claudio will look exactly the same.
Doesn't age. Sleeps
I
in
guarantee
Tupperware.
you, Claudio will look pretty much identical. There he is, yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, Claudio hasn't really aged.
No.
He's looked largely the same for the last sort of like 15 years.
Yeah.
It, it's always so jarring seeing Jay Briscoe with the ball dead though.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like I watched back at I watched back a match he had with the Young Bucks when he was starting to grow his hair out and he looked weird.
That in between phase where it's not long enough to tie it back, but too short.
Well, he had like it was kind of like Bart Simpson's hair. Like it was that stage because obviously because he was growing it out to dreadlocks, he had them like sort of like elastic banded. So it looked like he had like sort of Bart Simpson's hair.
What a look!
Yeah.
Jay ready to go now with Claudio Castagnoli.
Chris Hero's a little shit.
Such a bastard.
Just needed that one opening.
The production value on this for Ring of Honor, like, is very good.
Yeah, man.
This must have been around the HD net times.
That's why they call him that young knockout kid. You never know which of his elbow strikes.
Like, for context, I watched a match between Kings of Wrestling and the Briscoes from like a show that I'm pretty sure was on the same tour. Looking at the way they're all looking and dressed, and the quality was fucking terrible.
Really?
It looked like it was filmed on like a handycam.
A 3210.
I genuinely thought it was fan footage at one point.
Fucking hell, that bad.
Yeah, it was only the fact that there was commentary over it that I knew it wasn't.
One thing might hurt the Briscoes, they might be too emotional as Mark flies off the rope.
You know, we've seen different styles of professional wrestling out of these two teams as opponents of one another. Their meeting at the Big Bang in Charlotte was more of just a scientific, hard-hitting wrestling match. And then the match in Toronto at Death Before Dishonor 8 was just a bloodbath, just a fight. All four men busted open during the course of that one.
Let's go back and find that match.
Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
The Kings taking a walk?
A cameo from Sarah Del Rey there. Sarah Amato from NXT, for anyone who recognises it. She's the head trainer for the women in NXT. Very, very talented wrestler as well. Oh, we should try and find a Sarah Del Rey match at some point.
Yeah,
man.
Also, Paul Turner's the referee, and he has aged. But he also hasn't. He's just gone greyer and look a bit older. Yeah.
Look at those knees right to the midsection.
Yeah, Claudio's still a fucking. I'd actually say he looks bigger now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Somehow. Maybe he just gets more jacked as he gets older.
Now Mark Briscoe gets a shot in. You lift Claudio up. You're doing something. That takes some strength.
Didn't hook the leg on the cover right there. Can't afford to be sloppy when you're in the ring against the Kings.
Look at the Briscoes. Well, they've been together for so long, and they have power. I mean,
did Claudio sign off the back to WWE off the back of Ring of Honor?
Yeah. So he initially went to sign with them, and I'm pretty sure he had visa issues.
Okay.
Which is mad because he won his citizenship in like a lottery.
What?
Yeah, like so he won US citizenship in like a lottery. It's like it's like something I don't know if they still do, but they did every year where you get like put into like essentially a lottery, and if your number gets drawn, you get given like a free US citizenship.
Okay. That's the best raffle going.
Yeah, because he won that, and then he lived with Pac and Eddie Kingston on a farm for a bit.
As if.
And yeah, then I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, he was going to get signed, and then he had visa issues. And then he did get signed, and then Chris Hero got signed a similar time as well. Sort of like maybe like a year later.
Okay.
And
the rest is history.
yeah, then he left. He left a year later, went to the Indies and tore it up. Came back about like 5 years later, and he just didn't know what to do with him.
Trading forearms here. Jay Briscoe and Claudio. Briscoe missed, but Claudio does it.
Always looks so good, that uppercut.
It's because he's so tall as well. Like, you can see it from like a cruiserweight, like a shorter, like slightly, like slighter build guy, but he's massive, so it just looks even more impressive.
Yeah, I don't think people realise how tall Claudio is, like, because obviously when he was in WWE, that's like the land of giants.
Yeah, so you look fairly average, I guess, compared to a lot of the others.
Yeah, I've met Claudio twice, and he made me feel like a small man. And he's obviously, you see him in AEW where he stood next to like Danielson and Yuta, who aren't like the tallest of people, and he's like just towering over them.
Yeah.
Even Mox isn't like
Mox isn't
super
short
tall,
either,
but he's not short. He's just a fucking unit,
yeah.
And he looks small next to Claudio as well.
And another strike from Mark Briscoe. That one to the back of the head.
Nothing fancy about what Mark Briscoe's doing right now, but it is taking its toll physically on Chris Hero. Blocks the exploder suplex attempt and gets one of his own.
It's a nice suplex, that.
Both men need to make a tag here.
Sarah Del Rey, you see, far side of the ring, still trying to fire up her guys, the Kings.
Grabbing hold of Mark Briscoe.
And Sarah's got a few words for Mark. She even got a shot in. How about that?
It's a little bit of payback for what they did to her in New York City.
Paul Turner, the referee, saw her. He's going to throw her out.
See you later.
She's out of here.
Hagedorn's going next as well.
But Paul Turner saw it and is throwing Sarah Del Rey out.
That's fine. Shane Hagedorn can take care of business at ringside for the rest of this matchup. It's just a minor setback.
Well, if I'm the Kings, I'd rather have Sarah than Shane.
Nice.
They both bring something to the table.
A little bit of preemptive death by elbow there.
Hagedorn's a great motivator, and Claudio
Fucking hell. Death by forearm. Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Claudio delivering here.
Fuck me.
That took its toll on Mark. Claudio looks very confident right now.
Boy, that was a shot.
Yeah.
The uppercut there sends Mark sailing.
Whereas the Kings of Wrestling known for the KRS-One. Put away many
Oh.
opponents. They also
Fucking whiplash on the neck there. Looked rough.
Team finisher recently, the Royal Power and Glory, borrowing something out of the pages of the Mighty Hercules and Paul Roma with the superplex moonsault combination.
Mark Briscoe is really taking some pounding. Able to get his shoulders up. But he needs to tag Brother Jay.
Good elevation on the
It does baffle me how Chris Hero wasn't a bigger deal. Like, he's literally got everything. He can talk, he can work.
Yeah.
Hero holding him in position, trying to keep him from making the tag.
Mark high in the air, down on his back.
Trying to get the sunset flip. Hero makes the tag. Not the legal man anymore.
It's Claudio, and Claudio with the forearm.
Even like these two as like a team, and like they were both signed at WWE at the same time.
Yeah. Like, why didn't you just put them in as a tag team?
Signed at similar times, and we were like, oh, let's just have them as singles, guys.
But
See
then,
what happens.
but then we may never have got the bar, and the bar were well entertaining.
I think we would have ended up getting the bar because they could have feasibly done Kings of Wrestling for 2 years in NXT, just tearing it up. Have them split up like they always do in NXT.
True.
And then we would have probably got the bar a couple of years down. I mean, let's face it, Claudio's had like about 8 fucking tag partners in WWE.
Trying to make the tag, and Claudio makes sure that it doesn't happen.
You know, they're building up this hot tag, aren't they?
That hot tag Jay's gonna get is gonna be fucking loud.
Spicy.
He's barely been in this match, has he?
No. He had a spurt in the first few minutes, but that's been it.
Yeah. Chris slapped him on the back of his head.
So effective in everything that they do.
Somehow, look at Mark Briscoe coming to life here.
Elbow strike to the side of the head.
Oh, got a cheeky bit of death by elbow. Oh.
Hanging on to him, the tag is made. Claudio coming in the ring. Are they going to double team him right here? And look at Mark taking them both on.
Trying to fight through them.
To be fair, I think it was this feud where the whole death by elbow thing came up. That was a little cheeky death by elbow. That was like a snooze by elbow.
A siesta.
Nap by elbow. Yeah, because he had the loaded elbow pad, and that's where the whole thing come from, where he started like just murdering people with elbows.
Ah, okay.
But doesn't, I can't tell if he's got it yet or not. They haven't mentioned it on commentary, which would indicate to me that maybe he hasn't.
Throws him hard into that barricade.
So you say these guys feuded for a while then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you think the way like ROH pay-per-views, more so now I think, but like they're still like sort of every like couple of months as opposed to monthly.
Ah, okay.
I think at this point they weren't quarterly, they were maybe like a bit more drawn out, but still obviously
Enough time to really
drawn out, yeah. And also they did a match where it was the Kings of Wrestling, Shane Hagedorn versus the Briscoes and Papa Briscoe.
Yes, Papa Briscoe.
And, like brought that into it as well. So I think that's like how they managed to sort of drag it out, and obviously with the way the tag team title picture changed as much as it did, they like if one of the teams didn't have the belts, they'd feud with the champions, and then they'd kind of like the world's greatest tag team where they feuded with both the Briscoes and the Kings of Wrestling, and it always ended up coming back to the Briscoes and the Kings.
Right.
The Kings of Wrestling doing a tremendous job dishing out this punishment.
Looking at the action Chris Hero's just done, I'm guessing that this is the Briscoes defending against the Kings.
Referee didn't see it. He was busy on the other side of the ring making sure that Jay was staying in his corner.
Because it didn't actually say that, did it, in the blur for this?
No.
It just said the match. It didn't say what the
I
actual
did see a belt on the outside a moment ago, like sat up on a chair, but I couldn't tell if it was one or two.
That's true. Could have been when Jay was world champion.
That just might happen. I don't see anybody taking these belts away from the Kings of Wrestling.
Oh, okay, the King champions. Why the fuck did Chris Hero just do that then?
Maybe Jay was world champion. Maybe it was a taunt towards that.
Time for the UFO.
Look at the strength of Claudio. Here's the
Oh god, remember when he did this in WWE and he just fucking the SmackDown after they showed it about 8 times. Way to both make Claudio feel really cool but kill his momentum at the same fucking time.
Was that off the back of his match with Seth at Mania?
At Mania, yeah.
Yeah, which was fucking awesome. Oh, you bastard.
They got him up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great match.
On his back.
That rare time when they made it feel like fucking hell, we're actually getting the Claudio push.
And then no.
And then he had that match with Roman and then just not.
Which was also really good, actually.
Yeah.
Jay needs to stay on the apron,
It's
though.
Was
just
that early in Roman's title reign?
The referee's distracted.
Or was it not?
Um,
I can't remember if it had... Oh, that's a high super.
no, it was the first feud he had after his first Mania as champion.
Ah, okay.
Chances now. He's gotta make that tag
So
count.
he's been champion for like about
Oh, what a great
7 or 8 months at that point.
Here we are.
Here comes Jay Briscoe.
Oh, okay, so yeah, really early on in his reign then.
I suppose, yeah, comparatively to Roman's reign, yeah, it was. In normal title reign standards, it would be like the sort of middling point, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they haven't got anything to do for a little bit, and they're just trying to like make days.
Oh, that's a fucking beefy clothesline, that.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of give away when we were recording this, on Rampage last night, Mark and Papa Briscoe tagged with Aubrey Edwards.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Jay
it yet.
gets it from his dad for sure. Oh, I
Whoa.
love a little Jay Driller.
Love that.
And the cover. 1, 2. Hero in.
Save the match and save the titles. Some redneck kung fu.
Redneck
from
kung fu
Mark.
there.
Key move by Hero really did save the title for now.
Briscoes could be thinking about the Doomsday device.
The J Driver's like Maloney's finisher, isn't it?
The Driller Killer.
Driller Killer.
Yeah, Maloney's is Awful Waffle,
Wouldn't let it happen.
Awful Waffle.
Grabbing Mark.
which is Chuck Taylor's finisher.
Right.
Balance and has him hung up in the corner.
He used to call it the Omega Driver, but then obviously Kenny Omega became a thing.
Hagedorn.
Oh, hello.
Hagedorn trying for a pile driver.
Oh no!
Kitty Ho on a
Should have Canadian destroyed them there.
Shane Hagedorn. Somebody needs to send him out of here.
Just trying to lend a helping hand.
Oh my goodness!
Kicked him in the dick.
Right in the crotch. Shane Hagedorn.
That's so good. Like so
See it.
Get him out of here.
Motherfucker.
so understated the way like Chris Hero there was like looking to see when Claudio had the pin and I go ref. There's some pretty handsome tag team titles.
Yeah, lovely there.
Ah, Papa Briscoe!
Could he get in? Bless him.
What's going on here? Somebody's
A
going
fucking
after
spear.
Hagedorn.
That's the Briscoes' fault.
No, he's laying those in, isn't he?
Yeah, so this is the match that set up the 6-man.
Okay.
The kings of wrestling, come on!
He must have been in here watching this match. And he saw what Shane Hagedorn did to his boy.
Papa Briscoe just murdering everything.
Piece of his mind.
Fucking superb. Right, let's pause that there. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
That was a fun match.
I'd
Wasn't
like
wasn't the best match they've had, but it certainly wasn't the worst.
Yeah. I feel like it took a little bit longer to get Jay in than it probably should have done, and then it was kind of almost over as soon as he came in. Like there wasn't much more there, but it was still decent.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if he was dealing with like an injury or something.
so he spent an awful lot of time on the apron.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Could
I'd
have
definitely love to go back and watch some more of those. So I imagine that's a pretty decent feud. As you say, there's a number of matches there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 7, I think.
I too am going to give that a 7. It
Well-
was very fun.
Yeah. I enjoy Kings of Wrestling, though. Very, very much so.
Oh, they're awesome.
Yeah,
They're
really,
such
really
a good team.
That was a good introduction to them for sure. Right, that's another one in the bag for our free to watch alongs. Thank you as always for joining us. We're here same time next week, 1 p.m. every Friday. Let us know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions for matches for us to watch and what you thought of this one. If you agree with our rating or not. And if you don't already, give us a follow on our social media outlets. Right here on YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at the same handle. And we're also on Twitter, Twitch, and our Discord community at Untitled Rest Pod. We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your wrestling. Bye.
Bye.